Happy Thursday! Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's a good morning today because Spencer has a story that he's been so excited to talk to you guys about. We're going to talk about it today. This is SJU. I'm Roth, Cornet. That's Joe Starr. Hi, Spencer.
Gotta stay the whole time if you want to hear about the special wiener story, though. It's going to be at the end.
Yes, he has a very special answer to discuss today. So take a second, hit that like. We appreciate you doing it, don't we, Danielle Radford? I'm so happy to see you. Where are you? You're over here.
I'm down here. Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Very happy to see you. Yeah, hit them likes and bells and stuff.
Yeah, take a sip of coffee, grab a cup of Joe, settle in. We're going to have a good time. First, to the Star Wars. Now, before we even talk about the story at all, I need you guys to answer a question for me. And this is a weird angle I'm doing. Is this weird? Is that better or worse? Tell me in comments. I'm sure we will hear about it one way or the other. In any event, I need to know from each of you how you feel about the term a Star War, because there are some people that are very, very upset about this use of this term. They do not prefer it. They don't like it. I frequently use the term a Star War. Danielle. Wait, you were over there. Now you're here. Okay, you're here.
I like the term a Star War. I think that it's fine. I mean, I don't think anyone ever uses it seriously. I don't. Who has time to be upset about people saying words weird? I just don't like, I mean, I guess we all have all of the time, but I don't know. Get a quarantine hobby. Like,
yeah. Danielle, I think what you're trying, well, I won't tell you what we're trying to say. You tell me what you were saying, but what I'm hearing is I'm projecting onto you my own thoughts, which is like, you would think that our priorities would be more in order in this current crisis. And yet for so many, they're not. Joe Starr, a Star War or no Star War?
I'm fine with a plural. I'm fine with a singular. I'm just pro wars in general.
Okay.
Well, okay. Let's go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I think that makes as an American boy.
I'd be angrier if you called it a Stars War or Star Wars. That sounds worse.
Spencer, I'm going to assume you have no opinion on this matter.
Well, I feel like I thought that this was all an Arrested Development reference. Like, here's some money, go see a Star War. Yeah. I thought that's what people were doing, and that was like funny and cute to me. But if people are just doing it like, oh, look at that heckin' doggo pupper. Go! I love a Star Wars, like the baby talk epidemic that's been around since 2008.
No, I think it is an Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then I'm in. That show's eternal.
But to your point, Spencer, it's an Arrested Development. Either way you slice it, with what you just described. Let's move on to our main story today. Story number 1: the future of Star Wars on Disney Plus. I don't know. That was drum rolls.
Those are Mandalorian drums.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
This is via Variety. A new Star Wars series is in the works for Disney Plus. This series hails from Leslie Headland, who is the co-creator and showrunner of Netflix's Russian Doll, among other things, which is a show I enjoyed very much, and we can talk about that. We don't know that many details about the plot of the series. They're being kept under wraps, not surprisingly. It is a Star Wars thing. It is female-centric and takes place in a different part of the timeline, which I think is interesting. That's the thing that jumped out to me. She is said to be attached to write and serve as the showrunner on the series, and it's currently staffing up. So, couple different things. One thing that Eric Goldman, our largest Star Wars aficionado and fan in our group, notes is that it's taken 40 years to have a female writer on a Star Wars live action project. This is since Lee Brackett wrote the early drafts of Empire Strikes Back. And he means as the main female writer. So suffice to say, does this feel long overdue? Is this an aspect of this project that is important to you guys? And how many complaints do you think that we will hear about the term female-centric?
Infinite.
Okay.
Infinite complaints about the term female-centric.
That's a well where the water just never goes dry. So we'll be fine. Yeah.
Any other thoughts, or that was?
No, I'm
really... the one today. I mean, it's late in the week.
What's there to say at this point? It's like it's gonna star a lady. Good.
Danielle, what were you gonna say?
Well, no, I'm excited. Obviously, as with all of these announcements, I'm pumped to get to hear more about the project. Right now, it's starring a woman and it's written by a woman. Those are both great things. I would also like to hear more about what it's actually going to wind up being.
Yeah, no, me too. And I just want to note for the record that Joe Starr froze and we didn't notice.
He's just deep in thought.
I thought he was thinking he loves Star Wars, and I was like, he's got some good Star Wars thoughts.
I was just like, oh, I guess that's all you got to say today, Joe. And it was just this. That was the image that froze, and we absolutely did not notice that once again. Should I say something maybe controversial?
Do it, Roth.
Oh, you're like the little devil on my shoulder every single time.
He literally is, though, if you look at it right now.
You are. Okay, Angel, should I?
No, you should definitely not listen to Spencer. You should follow your heart and do whatever isn't a hot take.
Exactly. Follow your heart.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Joe, welcome back. I will note for the record, we didn't notice that you froze. Once again, we didn't notice that you froze.
I mean, that's kind of my position around here, so I get it. It's cool.
Yeah. Jonathan, just go ahead and keep moving us around. I'm fine with that. It's not that controversial. It's really a question that I have that I don't necessarily have a strong stance on. And it's been a topic that has existed for female creators for a long time, which is that why do we have to always put that moniker in front of it? Why does it always have to be a female director, a female writer, a female-led series? Why can't it just be the series that it is? And that happens to be the character who is the lead character. I have there's two sides of that coin. I remember talking to let's see. Oh gosh, the showrunner, help me, Melissa, the showrunner for Jessica Jones, Rosenblum. Anyway, I'm going to look it up because I'm being a jerk right now. Forgive me. Anyway, her two sides of the coin on that one are, and I happen to agree, on one side, it gets very reductive and it stirs up all kinds of heat and controversy for no reason. It also squarely says that this is something unusual versus normalizing it. It's just a character like any other character. Mm-hmm. On the other side, the incidence is so low that maybe we have to wait until the incidence isn't so low to stop calling it out. This isn't where I thought we were going today, and it's certainly not the prompts that Eric Goldman wrote for me, but this is what she
I definitely have thoughts on it. So,
oh, please.
Yeah. For me, it's always like, we do have to, there are these still milestones. I understand that we want to celebrate them, but at the same time, it's like, yes, just let the thing be what it's going to be without, you're already, by saying, it's female centric, it's this, is that, like, that's dope. Let it be that, and then let people decide what they're going to get out of the art before telling them this is what you are getting out of this piece of art, before we don't even know anything about it. We know that it is a war of the stars. We know that it takes place other places where it hasn't been. And now it's the whole thing where it's the Lady Star War. Like, just let it be what it's going to be and stop putting all of this on it before we don't know who's cast. We don't know what it's about. All we know now is it's like, oh, it's the Lady Star Wars show. Cool. I feel like that's also doing the show and all of the creators and everyone involved with it a massive disservice to reduce it down to Lady Star Wars.
I agree. So Melissa Rosenberg is the creator that I was referring to earlier. So forgive me for that, Melissa Rosenberg. And I remember interviewing her and having this very conversation because I agree. When I read that, what I'm struck by is that it's so reductive to whatever the show is and could be. It's not like when Russian Doll was released on Netflix, they were like, it's the lady going back in time and dying again and again.
It's Lady Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it's really like, who would have watched with these like massive franchises, I think.
It was hipster Danielle. Groundhog Day.
You're right. It was hipster Groundhog Day.
Does it behoove Disney though? Does it behoove Disney though? Because I mean, I totally hear what you're saying, but they also have Kathleen Kennedy has caught a lot of heat over the past couple of years over her roster of directors and her roster of writers. So does it behoove Disney to be like, hey, there's stuff coming down the pipeline? Yes, it's very reductive and sort of ends up dismissing it negatively as like the girl thing's coming. But on the other hand, like they get a lot of heat, and rightfully so.
That's a fair point, Joe. And that's why I say like there really isn't an easy answer to it, because it's called out because it's rare, right, Spencer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of kind of two minds about this. Like the announcement of like, there's a female showrunner. I mean, full stop for Star Wars or otherwise. Like that's good. They should have equal representation. They're just as good at writing television as men are. But then when it's like, but the Star Wars gonna star a lady, like, and that's it. That's all you get. Like, I don't know. That seems kind of pandering, but I can't speak to that. But if it was like, you're going to get a Star War with a white man, I'd be like, okay.
So I'm going to get a Star War?
And then?
Yeah, exactly. Like what we don't even, again, they're just like, it's a different timeline than the ones that we've seen. We don't even know what timeline it is. All we know right now is they're literally hanging everything on it's a lady Star War, and that is great. But I don't, if it's, because right now to me, it's just a woman with a lightsaber in front of a camera, like waving. That's all I see when I see it. Like, I got my woman.
If she has a lightsaber, I mean, Mandalorian really doesn't have them. Maybe it doesn't have them, and that's cool too. Like anything, a sentence about the character.
Literally
like,
anything that's
literally,
not that she's just a woman. Because it turns out that being a woman is like a part of who a person is.
Right.
Me and Roth are not the same person. I don't know if you guys have noticed. We're completely different people.
Switch us immediately.
Yeah. We're completely different people. Women are people, and all women are different. So if you could just give us anything other than her defining characteristic is that she is a lady, I would appreciate it.
Thank you. You know what, Danielle, that was so well articulated. And I think it really hits the crux of the other, in addition to the other things I mentioned that what really bothers me about it, which is like, that's not the end of it.
I can actually fix this, Danielle.
Any human being,
I can actually fix this. I can give you a little more information. I'm just going to roll the dice. I'm going to give you a little more information about the character.
I don't think that this is going to be real.
She's strong.
Okay, I'm listening.
She's cute but doesn't know it.
Character. She's cute.
She's smart, funny.
She's funny.
She doesn't know it. She's beautiful but doesn't know it.
She's just a Padawan with paint on her jeans.
Yeah.
She's basically just like a hot dude.
Yeah, basically she loves to play video games and play sports, but she's super hot. I was about to get very crude, but I didn't do it. Yeah.
Smash cut to Biggs playing basketball with Luke. Like, I don't know, man. This chief doesn't quite seem your speed.
He's doing that to egg me on because he knows I hate the term strong female character.
Yeah, it's kind of the worst.
Really super the worst.
Oh man, I bet that something really tragic happened in her past, and
I bet.
Why,
yeah.
Oh, I bet it was dark. Yep.
She lives with her dad.
It girded her loins. I don't mean to be dismissive of that term either, and people that appreciate it, because that's fine. I understand that. But what you're saying by saying that is every other one is not strong. That you're basically inherently saying that there is a de facto weakness that this person doesn't possess, that there is a weakness to the sex that this person doesn't possess.
But
and that's why you're calling it out.
There's the woman part, and then you just take out that woman part, but you still leave the woman form. You got something. Now you're cooking with gas.
And also it's like, give me an interesting character, no matter what. Just give me an interesting character that I want to watch, and I'll be excited. I didn't know, Spencer, you asked for it. You're the ones that told me to go there.
Whoever wrote this.
Now you're looking miserable.
No, I'm just imagining a Jedi who's also a girl boss, and I'm in.
Oh God. Where do you stand on girl boss?
Where do I stand on girl boss?
Danielle.
I think girls can be bosses too. They can even just be bosses.
That's what Instagram hashtag has taught me, is that girl can be boss.
Look, if a baby can be the boss, then so can it.
Wow, I didn't know that we were going to quite go here. I will say, I also don't want to undercut that this is a good thing, right? Yeah. Like, it's exciting, it's cool. Sure. I just get even more excited when it's like, I know I've talked about the Eternals director, because it's really like, I can't get across enough how much I liked the writer, which is not a movie that when you guys watch it, it's so simple that you're going to understand why I've been extolling its virtues. I think it is its simplicity that speaks to me so much. But anyway, I just like the fact that she just got the job because she's amazing, and now we're going to see more of her work, but it didn't feel like it was, yeah, to your point, Joe, it almost feels, I think too, that maybe they are shining a light here because the work wasn't done before in Star Wars. But then it's like, well, it's still not done yet.
No, of course not. I think it's always going to feel a little bit like overcorrecting while they're in the process of like actually finding some semblance of balance that may or may not ever actually happen, you know? But I do find it ironic that Star Wars, of all things, continues to have these troubles when it has a history of women fixing it, like since The New Hope. Like Carrie Fisher was literally fixing it in real time, page by page. Marsha Lucas was fixing it before it dropped. So there's a sort of a sad irony there, but
I also, here's another controversial thing. I have empathy for the people that are trying to correct something that has been embedded for many, 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 many years. And it does take time and patience and effort. But any final thoughts, Danielle, Spencer? We can talk about more Star Wars things. What timeline are they talking about?
I still think we're going to get a High Republic thing. That seems to be their big initiative that they're going to start rolling out in other media. So I still think we're going to get at least one series in the next 5 years that's set around that new time period, because that's something that's not attached to old canon. It's not attached to Legends or the extended universe or whatever they're calling the old graveyard where like Thrawn and all those old concepts are. That's the whole new thing. So I think we're going to start seeing more stuff roll out there so that they can kind of quell the criticism of like, oh, well, you're just picking and choosing from the IP graveyard.
Question. Did you guys watch Russian Doll?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Loved it.
I loved it. Now here's what I'm seeing. They said timeline. Go with me here.
Oh.
Are we going to get a Star Wars lady Groundhog Day?
It only ends when she learns how to use the lightsaber. She's just
it's going to be The Last Jedi, Admiral Holdo, living, doing the Holdo maneuver over and over again until it works. Because it's a 1 in a million shot.
That is like a Clockwork Orange thing to do for a certain set of people. It's like pure torture. We have more Star Wars things. In addition, there's the Cassian Andor series. Couple of updates there, again, via Variety. Stellan Skarsgård and Kyle Soller will be joining Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk in undisclosed roles. Tony Gilroy of the Bourne franchise is the showrunner, which I think is super interesting in a number of ways. No one's been confirmed to appear, but the SFX artist Neil Scanlon suggested that Disney is going to be pulling from already created but unused characters. So here's a quote. We have this backlog of characters. A lot of the characters that we built for all of the films either didn't make it to the final cut because that's just the way the film process happens, or they are seen so momentarily that there is this wonderful second opportunity to bring back some of the characters. Yada, yada, yada. What do you think?
I think one of my favorite things about Star Wars is concept art and unused stuff. And they've, go back to the special features around the prequels, right? Aside from their amazing sound designer, who's crazy, there are all these great special features on just the room of concept artists. They just had cranking out like ideas for what General Grievous could be and stuff like that. And I think Lucas and Disney have just got to have archives of just stuff that's been drawn and modeled for Star Wars that have got to be just gold mines for writers that need thought starters or ideas. This is a franchise that writes entire novels based on the werewolf in the background of Mos Eisley. As weird and throwaway and like, let's add to the IP as that sentence sounds, like the Star Wars dork in me gets really excited about stuff like that because I want to see like what's on the cutting room floor. Like, I still think like there was concept art of General Grievous as like a tiny baby in a hover chair, like kind of like the Baby Yoda one, and I still want to see that character used in Star Wars. I want to see the
like a little Eevee baby. Like, okay, are we talking about the Muppet Babies of Star Wars here? Is that what we are talking about right now, Joe Starr?
Maybe there's a long history of unused babies in the Star Wars franchise.
Baby Jabba. There's baby Ewoks, of course. There's a lot of babies.
I don't hate it.
Right. But this would be our first outright evil baby, which
that's exciting because some of them are evil, right, Spencer? Not yours.
I've never met an evil baby, Roth. Come on.
I mean, it supersedes my pitch for a Boss Baby Nass series.
Oh, the Boss Baby, Boss Baby.
Boss Baby Nass. It's Boss Baby, but a Gungan.
He'll sell you for plasma.
Yep.
Danielle, have you met an evil baby?
Oh, I've totally met evil babies.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Because I've been a nanny. They're evil babies.
They're evil babies.
I mean, most of them are great.
Hitler was a baby at one point, you guys. We have had this discussion.
Yeah. Good. Nature, nurture, and/or good. Nailed it. Are you guys, the Tony Gilroy thing also strikes me. Is this just going to be a straight up action series? Is that what we're talking about here?
Well, he's like, he's the Bourne trilogy, right? He worked on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's oh, did I just replace Joe? Oh no, I just have a full screen. Sorry, I'm confused. I shouldn't stare at myself while I do Zoom. I'm psyched for him. I'm also psyched that it's one of the main writers of The Americans is working with him on it. And like Cassianandro, he's like a spy, right? So a Star Wars set spy.
He's like a franchise guy. Yeah.
You get a little Bourne, you get a little Americans, you get some Diego Luna. Like that's great.
Yaba.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Can we? So it's a spy thriller series with lots of crazy action. First of all, can we take a moment to extol the virtues of The Americans?
Fantastic show.
Yes,
Start to finish.
Such a good show.
Yeah.
I feel like that is like the Americans meme. It's such a good show. Why didn't you guys watch it? Good. All right. There's more Star Wars things, Danielle. Did you know?
I did.
Oh, well, you read
this. I read this.
I mean, I cheated. In front of me. So they are sorry. Going back. Mandalorian. We already talked about this one. Mandalorian season 2 wrapped, scheduled to debut in October. Season 3 pre-production is on the way. Obi-Wan writer Jody Harold recently brought on to oversee the rewriting of the scripts after the original showrunner left the project in January. The Mandalorian's Deborah Chow is still directing the series. I love that. She directed some of the best episodes of The Mandalorian by far. That's very exciting. Thoughts, expectations, hopes about Obi-Wan. I always worry when we go back and look at these characters too much, too closely. It has gone not so well in certain cases.
Yeah, I think it's
that Anakin is not the breakout star of the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, Ahsoka Tano works because we know that she's not going to get G-ratedly shot by droid blast or clone blasters at the end of Revenge of the Sith. She's not tied to story beats. They've filled in so much lore for Obi-Wan already in all the Dave Filoni series and stuff like that. I mean, it just depends on what weird moment the series is going to be. Like, is it literally about a week in his life where he had to do something funky, or like a 40, like, are they going to do 24 with Obi-Wan? I don't know.
I mean, Joe's given some pretty good pitches.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably only 24 hours of his fictional life that hasn't been turned into a novel or TV series at this point. So
how many hours are in a day at Tatooine?
Yeah, that's true.
It's just that his first day on Tatooine, he's like trying to figure out where to put all the knickknacks, figuring out the best lurking spot where he can like look at Anakin without him noticing.
Should I dress up like a Jedi? Sure, why not?
But if I put the lightsaber chest under the bed, it saves space, but then I don't have a bench.
It's like Animal Crossing.
It's going to be Animal Crossing.
It is super creepy that he was lurking and watching him grow up from a cave.
Yep.
Right? Like, I feel like we should explore that in the series.
Well, my favorite fan theory, I know I bring it up when this comes up, is that Obi-Wan was using Luke as bait to get Darth Vader to come back, and then he was going to jump out of the cave and stab him. That's why he was so obvious about everything, was he just wanted Darth Vader to fly down, and then he'd be like, haha, time to finish the job. But it took too long and he got old. He was like, I'm going to have to teach this dumb hick how to fight.
Like, hey, my name's Ben. Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
Or is there a really sad? Okay, so end of Revenge of the Sith, we see him give the kid to Owen and Beru, right? And they're like, okay, now we have a kid. But then in A New Hope, Owen's like, that old man's a crazy old wizard. Stay the hell away from him. So what happened is this show going to be a weird, sad custody battle show? Where Obi-Wan kept showing up. This is
the Kramer versus Kramer of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars of the
Obi-Wan keeps showing up at the moisture farm with the lightsaber, like it's time to teach the kid how to swing a laser sword, and they're like, "Get away from our child!"
Okay,
that
marriage story.
In thank you. More current reference is Marriage Story of Star Wars. Real question is that Marvel has made a little bit of hay doing like the blank of Marvel, like the spy thriller of Marvel, the horror story Marvel. I mean, upcoming with Scarlet Witch TV show, I certainly hope it is the surreal pop culture reference mind trip rom-com of Marvel, which is what I pitched and I believe they stole. But that aside, my point is there something to be learned there from Star Wars, like the blank genre of Star Wars? Is that a real thing that they should be exploring? And / is that what they're doing with these shows?
I mean, didn't they do that with like Rogue One was like the heist movie of Star Wars, and the holiday special was the acid trip of Star Wars? They've kind of experimented, but yeah, I do think that if you look at Star Wars not as a series of action adventure movies, but as like a umbrella genre that you can plug other things into, then yeah, give it a shot. It worked for Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it worked for Marvel is probably the catchphrase of this industry right now, right, Danielle?
Yeah.
Yep. The MCU did it. People, if they could make rocket work, we can make anything work. I feel like that was something for at least a year. Everyone was like, they got the raccoon to work. You could make anything work if it's good.
It's more interesting to me than trying to hit the beats of older Star Wars movies than just setting a different type of movie in that universe. Yeah. Like that is slightly more interesting.
I'm still the old man that thinks Star Wars is a certain thing and feels a certain way. Marvel has the strength of Marvel has been insanely flexible for, I don't know how long ago it was when they first published a Marvel comic. Like Marvel Comics has always been like, here's Spider-Man and it's wacky teen drama, and Fantastic Four is this hard science romp, and the X-Men is super political. Remember when comics were political? But Star Wars, I think, Rogue One is a heist, but it's still like Kurosawa. I think there's like a much smaller Venn diagram for what feels like Star Wars. Like Mandalorian's a Western that still feels very, very Star Wars. Rogue One was a heist, but it was also Seven Samurai. Feels very Star Wars. As messy as Solo ended up, I can definitely see the Council of Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy and whatever Illuminati members are sitting there at Disney, like watching those original really funny cuts and being kind of like, is this a little too wackadoo for Star Wars? I don't know. I'm the old codger that's still like, but does it feel epic and John Williams swelly?
I get that. I think I felt that way for a long time too, to be honest, that Star Wars was this particular thing for me. But the more of it that we're getting, the more I think they have to stretch to keep it interesting. But we'll see when these new series come out. Thank you guys. You guys, and all of you guys for liking, subscribing, hitting that bell, hitting that like. We love you. We love doing this. It's fun. And we have fun stuff for you guys to watch. We did yesterday a video AMA. It's called Hey Fandom for the first time. It's with Pat Casey, the writer of Sonic, and you can go check it out right now somewhere on this channel. It lives, it exists. It was a lot of fun, and I encourage you to watch it. We'll be doing those some more in the coming weeks and months. It's in support of direct relief, which we've been talking about a ton, which is to get those needed supplies to medical workers working on COVID. So if you can, give it a like, give it a share, give it a donate. We would definitely appreciate that, and we value and love you. Also, more things. The NFL draft is today, as all of you know. And we had DeMarcus Ware, who's a really big deal, sit down with our SJU favorites, Roxy Stryer and Ed Greer, to do our very own fandom character draft. So the bit was, they were basically looking at, they made a team, a lineup out of characters that exist in pop culture. It's a really fun video. You should go check it out. And we are going to play a clip for you right now.
Of all of the characters in all of the fandoms, who do you feel like would make the best quarterback? DeMarcus, what do you think? How do you feel about Captain America?
You know what the thing is? I thought about Captain America, and then I went straight to Optimus Prime.
My man.
And the reason why I went to Optimus Prime is because all the guys got better when he came into the room, when he came into their space. They couldn't do nothing without Optimus Prime at all, right? You know, with Optimus Prime, when he got that sword, you know what I'm talking about? When he was going against all those guys, it was over.
Fun! You guys can watch that right now. First of all, how amazing is Roxy Stryer and Edgar? But how amazing is Roxy Stryer? Anyway.
The fun part about that video is I accidentally learned a bunch about football while watching it. And I learned about football by listening to football experts have the exact same conversation I would have about an Avengers roster as they did an NFL team. So it's like, I know what a running back is now. Got it.
Yeah,
I know Ed describes himself, and this applies to Roxy too, as daywalkers who are they're nerds who also know about sports. So it's the rarest, but if that really hits the middle of that Venn diagram.
It really does. They were great in it. And I will say that just in producing that, we threw a ton at Roxy. It was super complicated, honestly. At the last minute, and she just handled it like the pro that she is. So it was great. It was really awesome. And you should check it out. Check it out. Segment 2. Oh boy, here we go. Let's talk about it. I missed this, which is not surprising, but Ansel tries to show off his Elgort via Vanity Fair and Spencer Gilbert's request. So
look, I didn't think that this would become a whole thing. I just sent in the Slack, like, you guys see Ansel Elgort's dong, and that was it.
You were like, we forgot.
So the moment you show interest in anything, we get very excited.
Yeah,
I just thought it was funny. Ansel Elgort, which does sound like the nickname someone would give a penis, put on his Instagram a fully nude shot, which I guess got removed, right?
He took it down.
He took it down, but the link went to a COVID relief organization. So good for him for using his celebrity for good.
Yep.
He tricked everyone by saying it was an OnlyFans.
So it's called OnlyFans, and it was a fundraiser for Brooklyn restaurants that are providing medical workers with free meals during COVID. But
there you go.
Here's the thing: I didn't see this in real time, and it's Instagram asked him to take it down because apparently it was both coy and
too hot for the gram.
So I need Danielle step on in.
All right,
what did I miss?
I'm staring at it right now. It is a moody black and white photo of, and now I know which one Ansel is, so that's great because I was getting mixed up with all the other moody emo boys.
Alden Ehrenreich and the Ready Player One guy.
Yeah, all those dudes who look exactly alike. So he is in some kind of outdoor shower in front of a house
in New York.
And he's very wet, but he's wearing a chain for some reason. He did put on jewelry, and he's
doing a big looped chain. I need more.
It's almost like I can't tell if it's like a herringbone, like super 90s.
It's a clock. He's wearing a clock.
Flavor clock. And he's doing that sad boy slouch, butt naked and with the water coming off of him, and he's kind of like flexing his pecs. And then it goes all the way down to his arms are quite long. They're long enough that he is using one hand to obfuscate the goods. But if you don't look, it just looks like his dong is shaped like a hand. If you're not paying attention, he just has a dong hand. And he's making that face that they all make where it's like,
when did we decide that was sexy? When did we decide that befuddlement was sexy? Did we vote?
Because it's all most guys have, Roth.
Yeah, all you can do is kind of narrow your eyes.
What do we have?
Well, I mean, you don't want to go the opposite way, like.
Well, they call it the sexy sip, where you look like you're taking a sip of something, and then it makes your mouth look all slack.
Yeah, and like girls have like sparrow face, like you look like a baby bird, like.
Yeah, you get duck lips, we get bewilderment.
Yeah.
But this is bewilderment too. Look. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just a sexy baby.
All right, everybody, do your sexy face. Ready?
Wow. Oh, Joe's going for it.
Oh, Joe, yes.
Ew.
That looks shocking.
That's a sexy.
Do you think that we could raise money for COVID by promising to never do our sexy faces again?
Yeah, that's a Screen Junkie's threat.
That is today's Screen Junkie's threat. We will do those sexy faces unless you support direct relief. So here's what he said in a statement about it getting removed. Hey guys. Just want to thank everybody a lot. Everybody's raised a lot of money. I don't know how much of this was from, the post. But it seems like a lot of people have given in the last few hours, so thanks a lot. Looks like it was worth it. Unfortunately, Instagram told me I got to take my post down because it's nudity. So I'm going to take that down. Maybe I'll repost the version that cuts a little higher. How about that? Huh? Does that sound good? Sorry about that, Instagram. Sorry if I offended anybody, but we did a good thing. And prepare yourselves for this bit. And my dad took the picture, by the way. He was mad and he said that I needed to give him credit.
No, you don't.
Ooh.
You can leave that part out. There are pubes, Ansel. We can see your pubes.
Yeah.
It's always every now and then you get a weird puzzle piece about the lives of young actors, and that was not a puzzle piece I wanted to get.
You could have put up a tripod, my dude. You ain't got a ring light. What do you have to bring your dad into this?
My assumption is he did not, and his dad is just like an overactive stage dad who's like, "No, you're doing it all wrong." Like, God damn it, I didn't spend all that money on drama school, so you take a bad dick pic.
Like his dad was just to the side, being like, "Look more confused. Look more confused."
I feel like
I taught you.
I feel like if your dad is looking at you naked, you don't have to act confused.
It looks like he's looking at an animal he's never seen before, right? Like, no?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right.
Just saw Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm gonna wrap us. This is what Ansel looks like. Yes, thank you. We are Ansel. We are.
Bum 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 bum
bum. All right, kids. I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today. I'm
like Ansel didn't
with this.
That's
my sexy face. I'd like you all to do your sexy face. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, getting in on this with us, doing your sexy faces with us. Let us know in the comments below, how we can best entertain you. Oh my God, it's so scary, Joe. Your eyes are pits of madness.
I'm Brad Pitts of madness.
It's a cool world out there, Joe.
I would if Hollywood if she could, man.
That's such a fun movie. Here's Sonic's doing duck face.
Hey guys, before you wrap up, apparently
What's that, Ryan?
So apparently some people are saying Ansel's father is a photographer, by the way, if that helps.
Doesn't make it less weird.
No,
doesn't help.
Nope.
Sorry.
Bye, everybody.
I'm here for Dan Getty. It's like